everyone. Today we're going to discuss on property in UK, and we have a special guest, Felicia Flinders. Hello, Felicia.
Hi, Daniel.
Maybe you can tell us more about your YouTube channel and more about yourself, your background.
Okay, my YouTube channel is new. It's about 2 weeks old. It came because I joined this amazing group that was run by Ali. Ali is a professional YouTuber, and this is how we connected. So I joined his part-time YouTube academy, and it's 4 weeks. It was very intense, and he was the reason I've been thinking about doing it for the last 2 years. But I thought, oh no, I'll just leave it. And then 2023 is my year where I take action. And I thought, and he said, oh, it's going to be the last one he's going to run. I thought, okay, this is my action year and it's going to be the last one. It's either now or never. So I just jumped onto it. I had other things going on in my life, my property investment and everything, but I just thought I had to do it. And I don't regret it. It's so amazing. It was so intense. It's like a lifetime learning, which I'm going to keep on learning because there's so much information he gave to us. And and it will save me years. It's like I read recently, if you read a book, someone who's written a book, that's 10 years or 20 years of their life condensed into us reading 200 pages. So this 4 weeks course is amazing. It was 6 years of his YouTubing experience jammed into 4 weeks. So I'm now going to really go for it for the next, whenever. But yeah, my YouTube channel just started 2 weeks ago. And the reason I wanted to join it was I wanted to give my background, my why was I wanted to give. I've done over 25 years in the financial sector, so I'm a trained actuary, qualified actuary. An actuary is a profession. Many people don't know who actuaries do. So, apparently, the joke best say is an actuary is someone who found accountancy too boring, too exciting, so they became an actuary. So, our profession, we specialise in things like pensions, and risk assessment and investments. So I've got over 25 years in doing that. And also I've done property since, my early 20s. So I've got a lot of knowledge about wealth creation. And I just wanted to sort of think, how do I give that information out for free? And also I've done loads of courses. Despite having loads of years experience in that field, I've also done a lot of property courses over the last 5 years. And I thought, okay, I've got a lot of knowledge. How do I give that back to people who cannot afford to pay for courses? So this is my way of giving back my knowledge. And I thought, what's the quickest way? What's the best way? And and then YouTube is because Ali again. I was listening to Ali, and okay, when he first started. I was talking about how to study to go and get into medical school. That was not for me because I'm no actuary. But what was good about Ali was he also talked about how to be more productive. And I was listening to him. I thought that's a good way of sharing knowledge for free, and it reaches so many millions, not just one person, millions of people. So it was the most effective way. That's why I decided to join and start my YouTube channel and leverage from his years of experience. So yeah, I think I answered one bit of your question. The other bit was like, who am I? Should I start from the beginning? Right.
Yeah.
I'm so my beginning is I'm Felicia. I've got years experience of just doing property and stock market investment, and I also got a passion to help other people to create their wealth and to get to a place of financial peace. And you don't have to have millions, but you can just get comfortable and you feel that's enough is enough. Everyone's got different levels of financial freedom number, and my concept was not to get not is this help anyone to get to a place of peace, because once you've got financial peace, I think it's so important. So I think our wealth matters the same as our health. Without your health, you're not going to get very far. So again, wealth and health are the two key things I'm passionate about. And because I've got the experience of wealth creation, I thought that's what I would focus on, because health is most important over trumps wealth. Yeah, so that's me. Yeah, so yes, that's why I've decided to do this YouTube, and it's so exciting. I've met so many people whilst doing this part-time YouTube academy. Someone like you, and I've met you before, and with our mutual friend with the property world. So yeah, it's just so exciting. I'm really excited to join.
Okay. And in this year, like 2023, we have a lot of challenges, especially post-COVID, and then we have high cost living rising, and then property market is a bit of a turbulence, not only in UK, many parts of the world. Like what
Yeah,
can you explain more in the UK side market?
the UK, I mean, it's still, the press, what you listen to in the press, in the news, is not what is actually sometimes happening in the ground. Some parts of the UK, properties are still going up in value, right? And some parts, like I'm based in London, that sort of stabilized in 2015, it went down. And then the other parts of the UK, property prices were going up, and it was what we call the ripple effect. And then in some pockets of London, prices have gone up. So it's all relative. And at the moment, with COVID, interest rates went down to 1%, 2% borrowing rate, and people fix our mortgages for 2 to 5 years. But as interest rates have doubled and base rate is now 4.5%, because people fix their mortgages for 2 or 5 years, that hasn't really had an impact. But it will once they come out of their fixed period. And but the thing with property in UK, if you do for the long term, because we live in an island, it would always go up, and it has gone up for years, centuries. So we're not building any more land in this UK. So if it cash flows positively, it's something you hold on to. And my mum always said, never sell, because if our parents bought in the 60s, then now they're bought, I think in those days, properties like 10,000 for a house, an average house in UK. Now an average house in UK is like 280,000. So keeping it for the long term, property's good. This is one reason I talk about, when I talk in my channel, we talk about property, pensions and investment. Property is a long term, it's like a legacy. This is again UK specific. If you buy a property, you just find a way to get one, and you hold it on for your family. It's there for life. This is a legacy thing, really. It's a slow burner creation, path to wealth creation.
In UK, we have lots of strategy in properties. So right now, what is the trending strategies that's happening in UK?
In the UK, a lot of people are doing things like holiday lets. That was the key thing. Post-COVID, everyone had to stay in the UK. We talked the staycation, and everyone was like John onto the bandwagon of buying holiday lets in the countryside, and everyone moved out of the cities. So that was booming last year. Since 2020. A lot of property investors were buying holiday lets and service accommodation. The Airbnb boomed. So that was key. And then there was commercial to residential. So like in High Street, because of the economy, there was a lot of high streets shops are closed down. So my daughter works on Oxford Street, which is the high street of London, where all the shops are. And the big things, like big department stores, which you never thought would close down, have closed down, like Debenhams a few years ago it was HMV, and Top Shops, and that's closed down. But you never dreamt those would close down, because they're like the high street, it was the big Oxford Street shopping centre, but they've closed down. So most high streets in the UK are closing down, but it's fine, because then people could convert them now from being commercial to residential and build apartments and have mixed usage. Yeah, so that's what's happening in the UK as well.
So the residential market is still very positive.
Yeah, it's still positive. It's still like, if you're trying to buy, you can't get bargains. It's not like hasn't been a crash yet. Yeah, so it's still, you can still try and buy something. You think you can get a discount, you can't get a discount. So it's either you buy it or you don't buy it. So very few. Yeah, it hasn't had an impact yet. Maybe in Q4, when interest rates, has the mortgage rate affects the interest rates goes, and that impacts the mortgage rate, borrowing rate. As people come out their fixed period, it may impact them, but at the moment, it's still not. We have not felt it yet.
And since the interest rate is high, what about the new buyers, the
What do you
newcomers?
mean, the first-time buyers? You mean
Yeah,
the first
yes,
time
first
buyers?
time buyers. Yeah.
Yeah, the first-time buyers. The government's finding ways to give tempt people 100% mortgages to help people who've can't find a mortgage deposit to buy a property. So they're offering 100% mortgages for people who are renting for 12 months or more. So, there's incentive. There's a help to buy scheme, which the government had for the last few years. So they'll give a loan deposit to a first-time buyer, to 20% up to 20% deposit to buy something, UK. So that's also something that, trying to encourage people to buy home ownership. Yeah, that's happening as well. But yeah, there's definitely different schemes at the moment for the government to help people to buy.
So until now, right now, the government still help those first-time buyers with 100% mortgages.
Yeah. I mean, the 100% mortgages, it's more for the building societies, the lenders have decided. There's about 15 lenders who announce 100% mortgages, so zero deposit. So they can, so you don't need the government anymore. You can just go to 15 lenders that are offering 100% deposit, no deposit, 100% mortgages for first-time buyers. So that's still happening. Yeah.
Okay, and then what about the development projects? What's the prospect now?
You mean developments for developers? You mean?
Yeah, new build, like development projects.
For to build houses in
Yes,
bulk.
yes,
But
yeah.
yeah, I noticed I was checking my stock market investment only on Friday. I noticed the big players, the share prices have come down a lot. The Wimpy, the big build house builders. So the stock market has down, have, hit their stock market price. But small time developers, they are, the ones I come across, the building costs have gone up, so materials have gone up, and labour costs have gone up, so the margins have come down a lot. So it's more risky for small time developers to go out there. So to me personally, it's a long game. When you're developing, it's not get rich quick thing. It can take 3 or 4 years to get your development from start to finish. First to find it, then to get funding, then to get to get planning through. So it's a long time game. So yeah, I suppose, the market, I think property is always a long-term game.
So basically, the risk is higher.
The risk is always high, yeah, in terms of I think, what we call vanilla buy-to-let, buying properties for residential use, that is always going to be safer because people always need the places to live in, and it's quicker. In terms of property investment, that's more of a vanilla, stable, low risk, but low risk means low return. But if you're looking at the long term, it works out.
But anyway, for the buy-to-let properties, I think the rental now is rising like 20,
Yeah, for
30%.
sure. In London where I am, when we had COVID, a lot of the renters moved out of London to get more space, and now
Mm-hmm.
the offices, the corporate firms are saying, "Come back to work. You got to work more in the office." So there's been a massive intake of renters in UK, in London, and prices have gone up like 10%. Rental prices have gone up like 10%, and to make things worse, a lot of landlords are selling up because of the UK reforms, renters reforms. They don't want to stay in the market. They've made their money and they're selling up. So because of supply is going down and demand is going up, so rental prices are going up as well. So it's quite sad when you see, fewer properties for rental. So a lot of people who can't afford to buy have to rent, but now the price of the rental has gone up. So it's like it's causing an imbalance. So I think it's not good. I think the people like me who are private investors who want to create homes for people at a good reasonable price. It's it but then the mortgage prices are going up, so you have to sort of increase the rent because your cost of investment has gone up. So it's hard. I think it's getting harder and harder to be an investor and also be someone who's renting in the UK at the moment.
And I heard that there's an influx of immigrants into UK as well. There's an increase of influx. Does it affects the property market?
Oh, a lot. It's been actually there's been a lot of since Brexit, a lot of Europeans have gone back home. So we've lost a lot of key workers, people who normally would rent. They've gone. So I don't think that's the case actually. I think it's been net immigration personally, but I need to start this check the statistics. But a lot when we had Brexit, a lot of Europeans went back home, and so there's been labour shortage as well. So I had loads of skill set, that they've just gone back home. So it's harder now in the UK to get skilled labour force, or especially if you're doing development and renovation in the housing market.
So there's still a shortage of labours right now.
Yeah, still, and of course materials. Yeah.
What about service accommodation?
Service
Like,
accommodation in one sense.
yeah.
Service accommodation, yeah, a lot. When we had COVID, a lot of people wanted to stay. Well, we couldn't travel abroad, so a lot of people stayed in the UK and stayed in different parts of the UK and in short lets and Airbnb. That went up, but then now the borders are opened up. Again, people are traveling abroad, so more people are going to the sun. We don't get much sun in the UK, so people are, traveling abroad to the usual places where they can get a bit of sun. Yeah. So yeah, but again, that is beginning to sort of. It was boomed a lot, but now this year there's a marked difference. It's been slow to get bookings in the holiday. I've got a holiday let in the beautiful part of the UK, the Lake District, and the bookings took a while to come in. January, February, March, it was very quiet, no bookings at all. And so it's only recently starting to pick up because now people can go abroad. There's less chance to stay here in the UK.
And then what about HMOs?
Oh, HMOs. Okay, HMOs. Again, that's an interesting one. That's an area I've just started to move into. For many years, I resisted going into HMOs because of more hassle. I just stuck to buy to let. With HMOs, that's actually getting because people can't afford to buy, so they have to. They're forced to move into rooms, and letting and do rooms only, and that's happening. That's the prices are going up again because a lot of landlords are moving out the market. What's happening with the HMOs? More people are making it more high end. So before you used to have really damp issues, landlords weren't interested in making it look nice. But now more landlords, clued up landlords, are creating really beautiful rooms, like almost hotel-like rooms for their tenants. So that's an area I'm going into at the moment. I'm creating new HMOs in Bristol, and I want it to be high end and ensuite with like a home to home luxury. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, so that's yeah, student market. There's some university towns have purpose built apartments done by the universities. So that's affected the landlords who've got normal homes. So it depends. You got to when you invest in HMOs, you got to do your research, making sure you get the right you have the right make sure you have the right demand and the right product to meet the demand. So yeah, it's a lot of research. It's not guesswork when you're doing investment in property investment.
And then for HMOs, like as you mentioned, high end, so obviously the price will be higher. Like so
The rents
there's a
are high.
market
Yeah.
for it for high end HMOs.
Not every areas would, not every, again, with a product, you have different levels, in our shopping, we go to different places to buy different things, different supermarkets. So, people who can afford and want the high end and want to put money to have a nice environment, because the environment is important. So they'll sacrifice the money and pay more money. So if you wanted to, for instance, I want to attract medical staff, they're forced to move because of their profession. So they want to come back after working in the hospital to a nice home environment. So they're happy to pay a bit more, or scientists and STEM engineers. But then some people who just like you can produce a product which is still good and clean for people with lower income. So it's horses for courses. It depends what target market. Again, this is why when you do property investment, you've got to look at different variables and say who's your target market, who do you want to deliver this product for, and you research and do a lot of research before you jump in. It's a bit like our YouTube channels. In our course, Ali talks about, the first lesson was who's your niche, who's your target, do your research, work out who your target audience is, and deliver for them, right? And then build up that way. And he talks about the first 50 videos. If you don't know your niche, then do a few videos, and the statistics, the algorithm will tell you who's your niche. But if you don't, but you can do your homework. And this is lesson number 1, week 1, where we've learned so much from the course. It's like focus on do your homework and work out your niche. Look who your competitors are and how can you add value to your niche. And that's all about YouTube. And that's when you blow, when you get numbers. Because if you're adding value to your content every time, over delivering, then people come back and say, yeah, this is good. I want to listen to Daniel, I want to listen to Felicia, because they give, they offer content. They're not waste my time. So yeah, it's again, when you do property investment, you need to look at your niche, who you're trying to deliver, what you're trying to sell, making sure you add value, so they're prepared to pay the price and they're happy, and they come back and they stay longer and longer.
So looks like the property in UK is still vibrant, is still ongoing.
Yeah,
And
I'm a bit biased. I think, back to the fact we live in an island, we're not going to make more land in the UK. And yeah, it is a good area. And it's still robust. It's a good, the economy is quite robust in the UK. And Bank of England is trying to maintain bring inflation down. Interest rates are going up in order to curb inflation. So it's a good economy. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm happy to live in the UK. Yeah, so it's a good place to. I would say it's a good place to invest. So, it's a good. I mean, again, always diversification is important to mitigate the risk. So always look at different countries and maybe diversify. And it's a good. I would say, when I talk in my as I create more videos, I'll be talking about the UK in property investment, and that might entice overseas investors to come think, oh, I might start doing this. I might reach out to Felicia. She may be able to help me to take my first steps to invest in the UK from overseas. So yeah, this channel is to help everyone to create their wealth, because wealth creation is open for everybody. It's just need to take the action. And if listen to different YouTube, I'm not going to be the only YouTube channel talking about property or pensions or investing, but if I can give a nugget of information to help someone to take, oh yeah, it's not that difficult, I could do this. And with my channel, my unique selling point would be more about how. So I'll be doing video. If I talk about pensions, I go, this is how you open a pension. This is sort of things you need to look for. If I talk about buying a property in the UK, I look at different type of strategies, the buy-to-let, the HMOs, the holiday lets, the commercial resi, everything we talk about. And I'll be talking about the step-by-step, because sometimes people have information, but they don't know the how. The first step, you only take the first step, then you can move on and on to the next stage. So the first, people think, oh yeah, I've got a lot of information, but what is a how? And that's what my channel will be focused on, the how. What do I need to do next? And I'll break it down to bite size, so people can think it's not that difficult. I can actually do this, and that's my unique selling point for my channel, because that's how I learn. I take a lot. I take a lot of information in, and then the reason I want it, because I want to mitigate risk, so I need to know the how. I want to know how. You've told me this information, but how exactly? And that's so I'm thinking, if I'm like this, maybe other people want that to know that. How do I actually get to open an ISA? How do I know about this 100% mortgages? And how do I, move it forward so I can create wealth? Because I'm all about creating wealth for everybody. I think everyone should have access to it to get to a position where they're financially peaceful and they've got a level of wealth when they're not struggling. And it's so much now in this, modern age. There's so many ways one can create wealth for yourself, your family, and your people around you, and generations to come. So yeah, this is my why. It's my passion. I think it's there for everybody. And I'm going to break. This is my why. I've done my YouTube video, is to break it down to make it accessible to people to resonate with me.
And what about foreign investors? Is it still very happening in the UK?
For investors, I mean, they left in the London market. They left the London market 2015, 2016. But in London, Zone 1, a lot of millionaires in super rich come to London Zone 1, but a lot of London is different price range. So as you come out of London, it gets cheaper and cheaper, and a lot of foreign investors come to Manchester. There's overseas, a lot of Hong Kong investors and Chinese investors have gone to, zoomed into Manchester, Liverpool, and up north, because it's a lot cheaper. It's a lower entry point, and there's a lot of lot of overseas investment in Manchester. So, like for instance, Manchester Airport had a lot of Chinese money to create that airport. So in different parts of the UK, you've got different overseas investors who just said, yeah, make use of the fact that it's quite good, stable, peaceful economy, and also the exchange rate has worked in their favour. So you get an automatic 15% deposit. I mean, discount by being an overseas coming into the UK. So that's quite favourable for overseas investors. You nod. Why do you say that? You seem to know quite well. So I just noticed a sage nod. Why are you nodding like that?
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah, good.
And like a lot of British also, they left UK to Dubai to invest.
Yeah, I've noticed that because the tax again is a tax efficiency, isn't it? Yeah, very low tax rate. I'm not sure. I don't know in England. I think it's very low or zero tax for overseas people expats into Dubai. Yeah, I've just noticed a lot of people
Yeah,
in my Facebook feeds are going to Dubai, thinking everyone's escaping to Dubai. Why is that? Yeah.
yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah, it's the tax is a bit obviously very low, but I'm not sure
Mm.
about the investment, like the return of investment.
Yeah, I think it's more for the tax reasons somehow. They've made their millions in the UK and they just find ways to ways to go to tax efficient regions. There's a few, isn't there? And Dubai's a new one, a new kid on the block where people are going for tax reason. Why not? It's a win-win.
But I see that Dubai, there's a lot of skyscrapers, a lot of tall buildings. Like I'm not sure whether the supply is more than demand.
Yeah, I mean it's the country. I think I had. Do you know what? When I saw a lot of people going to Dubai, I think I want to go to Dubai. I just want to experience it. It's been like it's nice to experience different places. So yeah, it's nice to
Yeah.
travel. It opens your mind, broadens your mind. So yeah, a quick trip to Dubai and see why everyone's is going there. It'd be interesting to see. Yeah, obviously you do a lot of traveling yourself, don't you?
Yes, I do a lot of traveling as well.
It's nice to
So there's a
travel.
lot of advantages traveling, that you can see a lot of things that your mind will open up in a
It
more
just opens your
positive
mind.
way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this is why travel blogs you do is interesting to see your travel blogs. I think, yeah, that's a nice country. I'd like to visit one day. And you do it from your point of view, which it makes it more real than just, seeing it on the TV. So yeah, I think traveling is good. It's just like, over the years, it's so much easier now to travel. And also things like connection, like, we are in different time zones and we, in our part-time YouTube academy, we had different people from different parts of the world. That was just simply amazing. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. And everything happened at the same time
Yeah,
from
yeah.
all over the world. Yeah. Besides property, your channel is also on a bit of pension and a bit of a stock investment. Like maybe you
Yeah.
can, yeah, give us a short review on pensions and stocks.
Okay. I'm very passionate about pensions because my professional background is all about pension. As an actuary, we specialise on pensions. One tranche was pensions, so I knew about pensions benefits from a very young age. And so the UK government actually gives you a lot of tax relief. So when they encourage you to set up a pension. So now every employer is forced to set up a pension for their employees. And again, this is the one reason I wanted to set up my channel and talk about pension. You can also opt out. So some employers opt out of their pension scheme, even though it's given to them by the employees. Employees can contribute towards your pension for your old age. Employees still have a chance to opt out. So, and they don't, maybe because they don't realise the benefits. So as an actuary, I believe that if the employer is giving you contribution towards your pension pot for retirement, it's like to raise awareness that it's a good thing and just grab it and not leave that and not leave it to not leave it out. So pension, the employees contribute to your pension if you work for an employer, and the tax money, the contribution to your pension pot grows tax free income and capital gains. And then at the end, when you retire from currently age 55, you can tap into your pension pot. Then the income you take out your pension pot is taxable, but from the beginning it's tax free. So and also at retirement, you can take up to 25% tax free of your pension pot. So it's a very tax efficient way of providing for your retirement. So again, in the UK, we have a state benefit, state system. So when you retire at state to pension age, 67 at the moment, you have state pension. But that's not going to be enough because it's very low. So this is why the government's encouraging people from very young age to start making provision for their pension in retirement. So I'm really passionate about pension because it's just like it's tax efficient and it's something you can think about. And also, if you start sooner, the compound effect means you can grow your pension quicker and you can retire sooner. If you can help, you don't have to wait to state pension age of 67, 68. I think will keep on going up. You can, if you start your pension, you can draw it sooner from, from 55, maybe 58, and that again, that's going up. And so that's why pension's good. You can take it, you can do it early retirement. And also to supplement that, you've got something called the ISA. It's called Individual Savings Allowance. Again, it's UK specific product. And that you take out, you pay into that, you can pay, and with that, it's tax free as well. And the sooner you start, the more compound effect means you can grow it quicker. And with that, you can tap into that, you can draw that sooner. You can do it at any age. You don't have to wait to 55 or retirement age. You can, yeah, it's just a good way of wealth creation through your employers are actually helping you actively contribute towards your pension, and the government in the UK is tax efficient. Everything's tax free. Your capital income and your capital gains whilst you're in your pension wrapper, and yeah, it's a very effective way of creating wealth.
Okay, like for employees, they benefit from pension. What about employers or business owner?
Yeah,
What
it's a
do
business
they?
owner. They actually benefit because it comes the contribution. So you think about the pension contribution for your as an employer, the contribution to your employees comes out of your pre-tax profits. So you pay less
Mhm.
corporation tax, right? So it's tax
Oh,
as
okay.
well. It's a beneficial. So say your turnover's your profits 100 million, you can pay from that money, it then is subject to corporation tax, but you can reduce your corporation tax by putting it into pension products for
Mm.
your employee. So it's tax efficient. It's a win-win. Yeah, everyone gains. And also another reason why, again, it's more apparent to me as an actuary is that the actuaries also talk about this. We as a profession work out the expectation of life.
Mhm.
We work out the probability of how many years someone will survive, and people are living longer and longer, right? So when the pension scheme was in UK was derived, people retired at 65, and the expectation for life was to live another 7 years. So again, the state benefit was set up to only survive another 70 years. So most people died by 72. But now the average expectation of life is about 83, 84 for men and female, and longer now. And so it makes sense now to make provision for living longer. So, it's another incentive to make people more aware that you're going to live longer, so you need more money, and why not create and provide for your own retirement? My heritage, I'm Nigerian heritage. In my culture, my Nigerian culture, our pension is our children. So you have children, your children will provide for you in your old age. But in UK, it's more like you've got to be self-sufficient. So if you're aware of that, so like, and you've got the incentive and the government support and your employer support, why not take that advantage and provide for your own wealth in retirement and not rely on your children? So it removes the burden from children to be the pension for the older parents. So culturally, it just makes more sense in the UK to think ahead to provide your own wealth in retirement.
We have come to an end. Like, do you want to say anything, like a take-home message to our audience?
My message, audience, is like it's to our wealth matters, and it's good to think about how you can take control of your wealth and to be out there, and YouTube is an amazing environment. You can listen to loads of tips, and then you listen to it and you learn, you educate yourself, but you obviously do not listen to every information given out is not specific to your own needs. So you're there to take information and then do your own research, personal research, and then move forward. But just taking ownership of your own wealth creation, I think, is key. And my channel and many other channels out there are there to help you to think, oh, that is possible, and this is how I can do it, and then go off and maybe speak to a financial advisor to help you to make it specific to your own needs. But yeah, it's possible to take it. It's all about taking ownership to create your wealth through pensions, property, and investments. Yeah. that's what I'm all about, and in showing people how it's not that difficult. Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about my channel, and hopefully people would think, oh, it is possible to move forward and not to. I just want to level out the wealth, and as you know, the statistics wealth is concentrated on 1% of the top people, the 1% wealth, and why not try and make it more flatten out? And that's my mission, to try and do that, and to create pathways and should be ways to get. Yeah, I could do that, and bring wealth to what we say, the average person, in the average man in the UK. So that's my why.
For those who wants to learn more on passive income, wealth, property investment, pension, stocks, there's a link down there in the description box.
Thank you.
Don't forget to tune in Felicia's YouTube channel.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Felicia, for your time. We
Thank you.
appreciate your presence. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. I'll
Thanks
see you
for
next time.
inviting me.
Yeah,
Thank
take
you.
care. Bye.
Bye.